welcome back to the Off-Grid family. Today I'm going to be hopefully making a better home for the duckweed. I will apologise for a multitude of things before I even start. Number one, the light may not be any good today. It's dark outside, it is night time, and I'm having to use indoor lights, so I'll do my best to keep it illuminated properly and, you know, nice. Secondly, I may have to do voiceover rather than talking during, because in a little while my children are going to bed, so I've got to keep the noise down and I'm not allowed to blow stuff up after a certain amount of time. So let's get on, do our best to show you every process and make this duckweed have a nice proper home. The first thing I've done is cleaned out this old aquarium, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fill it with non-chlorinated water. Basically you can use rainwater, pond water, whatever you like. I have only got bottled water because it hasn't rained here in a while, so I will use my bottled water and we'll see how far that fills it up, because that'll determine the next stage, so bear with me. Unfortunately this is all the water I have at the moment. It's only about, well, just over an inch, maybe an inch and a half, which is not ideal, but it will have to do. If it rains tonight, which it looked like it was going to, then I've got a few containers I've put outside, so I can empty those into here afterwards as well. Right, now, here's my duckweed, and unfortunately, it's already started to go a light white colour, which is a mixture, well, it can be one of two things, well, one of multiple things, but probably a small lack of nutrients and lack of light. So, I want to get them into their new little house, and then we'll sort out some nutrients for them. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to tip them out gently and carefully, and I'm going to use the other water that I've got to just spray around the edges. I don't want any getting left behind. Okay, so that's done. Now the next thing I need to do is make a border that will go all the way around it so that algae doesn't start to grow in it. But unfortunately there was quite a lot of algae already growing in it. Let me just see if I can zoom in and find some. Can you see there's lines between it? No, you can't see it. Doesn't matter. But what I'm going to hopefully do, what I should do, is put a border around it, like I said. I'm not going to bother with that today, but what I do need to do is get a bubbler in there so we can get some nice gentle bubbles going. And what I've got two different devices for that, and I'll show you them now. To produce the bubbles, I could use, well, to disperse the bubbles, I could use this, which is just an inlet here, and then I think it's 10 outlets, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Yeah, like I said, 16. And I got two of them. I have somewhere a bubbling stone, but it's not very big. And then other than that, I've just got hose pipes. So what I'm thinking is, if I have one of these at either end of the fish tank, I should be able to disperse quite a lot of water quite nicely. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I need to rig this all up. I'll show you what that looks like in a sec. Okay, it's rocking backwards and forwards at the moment, so I've just moved it along a bit just so I could reach the plug socket down here. But I'm just going to test out this and see how many bubbles it does, because you want it to be a gentle flow of bubbles. You don't want it to move the entire place around. And I've got this, it's a cheap, well, it was about £8 I think for the pump, which it's not cheap but it's not expensive. I can't get to it still, so hang on. I think this actually costs more than the pump itself. So it's got an actual speed controller on the side, which is handy. And then what I want to do, I didn't want to disturb them really, but no, that doesn't work, not for how I want it. I want it to be a more consistent flow. So the best thing I've got at the moment is this. It's nowhere near enough to oxygenate the water properly. But that should give it. I'm going to put it on, not full blast. No, not full blast. But I'm going to leave it running on quite high for a little bit because I would like to just fully oxygenate the water. And now I'm going to look into what nutrients I should give it. One thing I will say is I was going to do a border around the outside, like I said, to stop the growth of algae, but until I know how full I'm going to have this tank, I'm not going to bother with that yet. That will be in the next couple of days because I don't obviously want any algae to grow, but I'm going to sort a few things out first, I think. Okay, it's been running like this for maybe half an hour now, and I'm just going to move it to the other side of the tank. Try not to disturb too much. And I'm just going to completely oxygenate the water for a few minutes. Okay, so this has been aerating for probably about an hour now. And it's got a nice amount of air in. I don't need to keep the pump on really. I'm going to, and when I've got this all set up, the pump will be going all the time, but very, very low on the apps. Oh, that is the lowest. But this pump has two outs, so I'll have one bubble at one end and one at the other end. I'm also going to be connecting either a heat mat underneath or a aquarium heater in the water. I'm not entirely sure, but as I say, I might be filling this up a little bit more. I'm not sure about either yet. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to look through all my LEDs and see if I've got enough LEDs to make a glow lamp of some kind. That I think will be my next job. Okay, this was just a short video just to see me putting them into the tank and getting it aerated. In the next video or the video after, I will, as I said, be putting a banner around it, a border I mean, to stop algae growth, and I will put the heater in and various other little things. But I hope you enjoyed it. See you later. Bye. Another temporary thing I've just done is I've just put this basically thick paper up to stop light getting in from around the sides. Basically it won't do much at the moment, but when this spreads all across it stops light getting in to the bottom of the water, and by putting covers around the outsides it stops light being able to get in from the sides to the bottom, which means that then the duckweed will be the only life that can grow to some degree, and it'll mean the algae will die back, you see. Well, that's the plan anyway. So they're just clipped on temporarily. I will sellotape them on, well, stick them on somehow, but not just yet. This is all in its experimental stages, so when I get it dead right, then I'll make it a permanent thing. As you can see, we've actually got some sunshine today, and you'll be able to see where the sun is not hitting, which is something I'd already thought of. But what I'll have to do is lift the tank up slightly, so it's possibly one side is resting on the windowsill, one side's resting on my bench, just to give it the most sunlight possible. But they're getting a nice bit of UV rays today, which is nice. Thanks for watching.